Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've got something that's been bothering me for a while now, and I really want to share it with you all to get your thoughts and feedback. So, here's the story. Recently, I got my first car, a 2017 Honda Accord, which was a huge deal for me. I worked hard and my parents and uncle chipped in to make it happen. But things got weird when my older brother started borrowing my car, and I feel like something happened that he's not owning up to. The situation just escalated from there, and I'm starting to feel a little disrespected. I'll take you through everything that happened and why I'm so upset about it. Let me know if you think I'm overreacting or if I have every right to feel the way I do. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this and for other content I'm working on. Your support means the world to me, and I'd love to have you as part of this community. So, let's get into it. Entitled Dad Covering Up for My Older Brother. Damaging my car? Hello, everyone. I really need your perspective on something that's been bothering me for a while. I just want to know if I'm overreacting or if my feelings are justified. So, here's the deal. Recently, I got my first car, a used 2017 Honda Accord with 118,000 miles on it. My parents and uncle helped contribute to the cost, and I also chipped in a bit myself. I'm 20 years old, and it's a huge deal for me because I've never had a car before. We're a pretty low-income family, so I honestly didn't expect to get such a nice car. But then, out of nowhere, we got some surprise money from a check that really helped cover a chunk of the costs. It felt like a blessing, and I was over the moon when I finally got the car, which came around the end of October. Now, the issue began when my older brother's car started to have major engine problems in December. His car is a 2014 Hyundai Elantra that my parents bought for him when he turned 21, and it had 80,000 miles on it at the time. He didn't really pay much of the cost up front. My parents made a $3,000 down payment for it, and they continued to make the monthly payments for about 2 years while he was finishing school. On top of that, they even paid for a $3,000 transmission replacement a year ago when his car broke down. So, my parents have invested a lot of money into his car over the years, but now it's in rough shape, and he's been dealing with these engine issues, which is super unfortunate. Despite all of that, I noticed a weird vibe from him when my car came home. I was excited, and I tried to share that joy with everyone, but instead of being happy for me, it was like he couldn't stand that I got a newer, better car. He immediately started complaining about his old car, saying things like, "They should have bought me a car like that," and "My car's a piece of junk compared to yours." To be honest, that stung a little because even though my car is nice, it feels like it's just a little bit of luck that I was able to get it. But he couldn't be happy for me at all. He was fixated on the idea that he deserved the nicer car. The day my car arrived, my uncle jokingly asked him, "You like your sister's new ride?" To which he replied, "Yeah, I might keep it for myself." Honestly, I didn't find that funny at all. It felt like a low blow. And it made me uncomfortable because he was clearly envious of something that was supposed to be a happy moment for me. Now, I've been sharing the car with him. I've allowed him to borrow it because, well, his car is basically undrivable at the moment, and I just didn't want him to keep using my parents as a crutch. My parents have already helped him so much, and I didn't want to cause a problem in the house. He's 25, and to be fair, I didn't want to create more tension between us because we've had a rocky relationship in the past. As a kid, he wasn't kind to me. There were times when he straight up bullied me, and I felt scared of him for most of my youth. We didn't have a close bond, and honestly, we still don't. I try to let go of the past, but sometimes those old feelings of hurt and resentment linger. Now, let me give you some context about his car situation. My parents bought it for him when he was 21, and he was treated to the same benefits I received, if not more. They paid for his rent, they paid off his car, and they even replaced the transmission for him when it broke down. Despite all of this, it seems like he still has this sense of entitlement. And the worst part is that I feel like he resents me for having a better car, and I can't shake that feeling. Back to the present. Now that I've been sharing my car with him, it's been getting more and more frustrating. He uses it every single night without asking or even telling me where he's going. I don't want to cause any drama, but it's been bothering me. I'm doing my best to stay polite, but deep down, I'm feeling a little taken advantage of. I didn't get the car on my own, and I'm not going to act like I did, but I still want to have some say in how it's treated. Here's where things got weird and honestly, pretty upsetting. Today, both my dad and brother left the house, with my dad taking his car and my brother taking mine. They didn't say a word to me, which immediately felt off. Then they came back later in the day without my car, and my brother just walked past me without acknowledging me at all. That's when I started getting really suspicious. I asked my dad where my car was, and he nonchalantly told me it was at the shop. Naturally, I asked, "For what?" And he replied with some vague excuse about a little problem. He said the car had been shaking and that the paint was coming off. He didn't explain anything in detail and just brushed me off. He then quickly ran away before I could ask more questions. I was starting to get worried, so I called my mom, who was at the dentist getting an extraction at the time. When I asked her about the situation, she confirmed that the paint was coming off, but when I mentioned the shaking, she was completely caught off guard and said, "What shaking?" That was my moment of realization. It hit me that my brother had probably messed up my car somehow, and now my dad was covering for him. I don't know for sure what happened, but it really seems like my brother damaged the car and is too ashamed or stubborn to admit it. I've asked around, and based on my mom's confused response, I feel like my dad is trying to protect him, which is making me even angrier. This is my first car, and I don't want anyone to mistreat it, especially when it's something that I've worked so hard for and that my family pitched in to help me get. I feel like I'm being completely disrespected here, and it's honestly just so frustrating. So, what do you think? Am I overreacting, or is my brother really in the wrong here? I feel like I have every right to be upset, but I'm not sure if I'm letting my emotions get the best of me. Please let me know what you think. Comments. Morally, they're trying to spare your feelings, to give you an opportunity to think about this. And yay on you for asking if your feelings are valid. And that's a matter of perspective. And you're willing to hear other perspectives, which tell me they are doing something right. It depends. And the older you get, the longer this list gets, because each bummer experience like this knocks the top right off the great buzz of dopamine that comes with stuff. Stuff like cars. So here goes. Legally, Mom is the governor of the car as the name on the title. While you may have been the primary driver, at least initially, the ownership rights never transferred to you. So, my car is a figurative representation of role, absent the responsibility of car ownership, which belongs to Mom. Monetarily, the car has a book value that drops every mile you drive and every accident that occurs. That does not mean the value completely tanks, as insurance companies are usually required to restore the car back to some standard, to minimize the depreciation of the car which has been involved in an accident. Statistically, new male drivers have higher insurance rates because they're more likely to get into an accident. The car got damaged in an accident, but maybe your emotional attachment to what the car represents to you, freedom, is something you've overvalued in the context of all of the above, and they're trying to tell you to dial it back to the reality this particular item in the list of stuff has one purpose: to transport from point A to point B. The more cars you own, hopefully you care less about what it represents to you, as long as it gets you where you need to go. It's getting fixed, and this is important. That's why they carry insurance on it, to help maintain its value, both as the tool to get from A to B, but also to be viable for trade or sale. And as the owner, Mom's absorbing all the financial risk too. It's the far bigger burden, which all the other things about your brother are a separate issue. Your low-income mention is normal for a lot of families. They are forced to share big-ticket items, like bedrooms and houses and cars. It's a form of financial pooling to give everyone in an extended family a shot at survival. It's not a bad thing to share like this, but it can get territorial and manipulative at times too. But we helped buy this car for OP, so you need to do XYZ for us. The agreements are often on a handshake, not on paper, meaning accountability gets spread out beyond the abilities of some to manage. I'd probably not get too bent about the car. I know the first dent my kid puts in her car, she's going to be crushed. I also know I'm going to ask her, gently, to realize it's a very expensive hunk of metal that was losing value by the day. Reframe this. How am I going to feel about this 20 years from now? That will probably sound like, that was dumb to put that much of my emotional capital into a hunk of metal. Firstly, the anger issues are not your problem to solve. Your parents are the problem for allowing the bullying and for not protecting you. It's shameful that to keep the peace you have to allow him access to your property. I'd make a plan to leave. Hopefully they will pay your bills just like they did his. If not, you know he is the golden child. If you have a job, start saving up. If you're in school, go live on campus. Give your dad two ultimatums that either him or your brother pay for the car repairs, or you'll have the brother go to jail for wrecking your car. Also, if you're able to, but you still should anyway move out and go permanent no contact with them. Do not drive this car. He's untrustworthy and has made it unsafe. Save up and leave, since getting your mom to change the title doesn't look like it's going to happen. Please don't pay for anything on this car either unless you have in writing that it's your property, which it's not, according to the government. Sorry, OP, but after reading through the thread I see we've given you the answers. You're just not hearing them because they're not the ones you wanted. You either have to go study what your parents want and use their later plans for you to continue abroad to your advantage and escape their control that way, or you need to go on your own now, abroad as well, because, as you told us, in your cultural background you won't be given the opportunity to safely emancipate yourself at any age. You can't always get what you want. None of us did. Or rather, you can get what you want, but not the way you want. That's life. I hope you make the right decision for yourself and wish you all the best.